Clayton Holton.
Should I just start? Sure. For the record, my name is Clayton Holton. I'm 27 years old and I suffer from an extremely rare type of muscular dystrophy. It claims lives in the teen years, and next month I will be 28. Major problems with my condition is wasting syndrome. It starts very young, and by the time I was 14, I weighed approximately 75 pounds. And now, today, before you, I weigh 66 pounds because my disease is progressing. There's just no treatment for it. In the past, I usually would have a written statement, but I feel that I've been coming to these hearings for, I think, 6 years now, and it's the same arguing points for and against, and it's not getting anywhere. The Senate has always been for it. House of Representatives always supported it. It's always stopped short of one person. You can name. With that said, and my condition getting worse and it coming towards the end of my time, this will be the absolute last time that I can make it here. And it doesn't bother me so much that it's my last time here. It's the fact that I've met so many patients in the beginning that they're not here now because, well, the bill didn't pass and they wasted away to living skeletons. Sorry, I'm in a great deal of pain. The right up here is very hard. The one thing that I have to stress about all of this is to live in suffering and agony on a daily basis, to the point where you have to take so many opiate drugs just to slightly numb the pain. But as a side effect, you become so drugged up that you have to lay down. That's not quality of life. That's destroying what little bit of life I have. Marijuana allows me to take less of the opiate pills, and I've done so for many years. I can't remember exactly when I started. All I know is at some point, the Oxycontins that I was prescribed started making me very sick. And talking with my doctor, she suggested that it was an alternative route that I could try on my own if I felt safe in doing so. And as a side effect, I started to gain weight. Which, I mean, a couple pounds is the difference between another year here. I could answer almost every single question that any of you might have. I've gone through it all and met so many patients that if I haven't gone through it personally, I've heard of it. I just really need to stress that this bill is so much tighter than all the previous ones that for it to come this far and to fail would be nothing short of a joke. I just need you all to understand just what it is to suffer and know that you can help a lot of people. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Courtney?
So I just want to say thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate your testimony. And if this bill passes, would you wish to grow marijuana yourself at home?
No, I would not. I would not feel comfortable doing it myself. I'm physically unable to do it. I would go to someone that I trust, that I knew would not break the law. And then I would go that route.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. I think several of us have also been here
I recognize quite a few of you.
But we do have a different one. I
Yeah,
won't name your names.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evelyn Merritt, former state representative and longtime member of this committee, and the former co-sponsor of this legislation, among other things.
Good morning, and thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members of this committee. For the record, I am Evelyn Merritt, former representative from Lancaster, and a 6-year former member of this committee, and I am very happy to be here. I have short written testimony, but before I get to this, my head is spinning and I need to address a couple of points. And the first one is that if there is a God, Clayton, you'll be back here next year. I'm sorry. And you will be back here because you will be okay. I'm sorry. A point I want to make is something that Dr. Savage had alluded to. There are many patients who benefit from herbal marijuana. We know it. They can't wait until clinical trials and the onerous burden of trying to prove one way or another, and to get this through the FDA. They can't wait. They need it now. And it's been proven, and you can't tell these people that they're just an exception. There's too many of them. I also want to thank Representative Clausen, by the way, for including me in her introduction. And to the representative from the Governor's Commission, my heart goes out to you. I am a cancer patient. I wasn't going to bring this up, but the fact of the matter is that in my case, and in many other people's cases, the only alternative that helped me, that mitigated my pain and suffering when I was in the depths of the deepest hole, was herbal marijuana. And that being said, today begins what so many of us hope will be the final chapter in creating a law to give safe legal access to an alternative treatment for disease-stricken patients. Herbal marijuana has been proven to bring comfort and pain relief and minimize suffering for so many of our sickest and terminally ill patients. And many of you sitting here in front of me have been part of this journey. You have watched and even participated in the evolution of what began over 6 years ago as a weaker bill, but nevertheless the beginning. The legislation you have before you, HB 573, as amended, is the result of years of trial and error. It continues to evolve into an extraordinarily precise, clear, and tight bill. It's a bill this committee, this legislature, and this state can take pride in. HB 573 is more thoroughly written and vetted than ever before, and I believe will prove to be the model legislation for this country when it comes to providing access to medical herbal marijuana, which is a most important and should be a most important option to the health care regimen of those patients in need. From my experience and my involvement with the collaborative effort for over 6 years, and being a champion and co-author of the ongoing work to create this legislation, I most emphatically believe that HB 573 is finally exactly what the doctor ordered. Representative Schlafman and her teams continue to work with all of the stakeholders to remove ambiguity and craft a benchmark piece of legislation that ensures clarity and control. I do acknowledge that there are potential risks with the use of cannabis, but so it is true with every legalized drug, medicine, OTC remedy, and practically every other alternative therapy that exists. I cannot stress enough the controlled use of cannabis provides clear and unquestionable relief for many patients without the sometimes horrific side effects of accepted pharmaceuticals and even OTCs, which we know have been proven to cause death. And this was just on the news. I don't know if any of you heard the news a couple of days ago, the increased use of overdoses and deaths in the oxycontin and oxycodone drugs. This bill provides great oversight for the Department of Health and Human Services, clear and precise limitations, and protection of the law for anyone who is qualified and is a registered patient. Our government does not provide the same control for many more legal substances. Passing HB 573 and doing all you can to make sure that this legislation becomes law is critical to improving the lives of so many people you serve. We owe it to those people sitting and standing in this room, to every patient who is suffering, dying, or confined to a life of PTSD without relief, and who cannot find relief from any other legitimate legal source. We owe it to every citizen of this state who year after year have come to this room, people like Clayton and so many other people behind us. This building, this body of government which represents the willingness, the commitment, and the desire to act in the very best interest of its citizens. I ask you, please, do as you've done before, support this bill. It is long overdue. We want Clayton back. And I thank you, and I apologize for my little emotional setback, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
We might all need those tissues soon. Any questions? Thank you, everyone.
Quick question.
Yes.
It's so nice to have you here. Thank you.
So,
Can you just review which states have got medical marijuana laws in place in New England? I know Maine and Vermont.
Maine, Vermont, Rhode Island, Massachusetts now they have deep trim, and I do believe they now also have a medical marijuana bill pending. Connecticut, both into New Jersey and so forth.
So we are surrounded.
Thank you. Assistant Attorney General Elizabeth, is it, think like, is it Woodlawn?